Greetings, Planeswalkers. Here is my Cabaretti deck. Cabaretti Court, based on the new Capenna set of the Cabarettis. Figured I'd go over it since today's daily was green and red. And this is a green and red and white deck. So, starting with the single mana cards, we got Boon of Safety and Broker's Initiate for 1 white. Boon of Safety, we give our creature a shield, and Broker's Initiative is a 0/4 and has 4 colorless, 1 green or blue. We can switch its base power and toughness to 5/5 until the end of turn. Sticky Fingers, I really like this card. It's a fairly popular card. 1 red, we enchant our creature and they deal combat damage, and they create a treasure token. And when the creature dies, we draw a card. Unlucky Witness, we can exile the top 2 cards of our library until the end of my next end step. We can play one of those cards. Cabaretti Initiate gains double strike with 2 colorless, 1 red or 1 white. For just 1 green, it's a pretty good card. Focus on for the family. Target creature gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. If you control 4 more creatures, which is kind of the goal of this deck, that creature gets +4/+4 instead. Torch Breath. Cast 2 less, colorless. If it targets a blue permanent, can't be countered, and does X damage to target creature or planeswalker. So into the 2 mana cards, Backup Agent, Citizen's Crowbar, Refuse to Yield, and Sky Crier, all 1 colorless, 1 white. The Backup Agent is another citizen and puts a counter on a creature that we have. Citizen's Crowbar creates another citizen, and we equipped the Crowbar, and it has that extra mechanic to pay white, tap, and destroy target artifact or enchantment. Again, I've told you before, I love cards with options, and this is a great one. Refuse to Yield. This is a really nice instant. For pretty inexpensive, 1 colorless, 1 white, we get +2/+7, and we untap our creature. So that's a good card. Sky Crier, flying, lifelink, and the option to draw a card for 4 colorless, or 3 colorless, 1 white. Antagonize, Explosive Entry, Riveteer's Requisitioner, and Rob the Archives, all 1 colorless, 1 red. At an instant to buff a character. We can destroy an artifact to put a counter on a character. We create a treasure token, and we also have Blitz with the Riveteer's Requisitioner, and then Rob the Archives. We can sacrifice, more than likely, whatever tokens we have out to exile the top 2 cards of our library and play them. Civic Gardener, untap target land when we attack. Gala Greeter. This is a really good card, very popular card. I think I only have 1 so far. Yep. That's a pretty common card with these Cabaretti decks. Prosperous Innkeeper, also a citizen, great card. You guys all know what it does. Riveteer's Decoy, must be blocked if able. Civil Servant, we can tap another citizen to get +1/+0 and lifelink. And then Courier's Briefcase, we can create a citizen token, add 1 mana of any color, or if we have enough lands out with all 5 colors, we can draw 3 cards. Gathering Throng, it's a good card in that it's a citizen, and it's basically kind of a compounding card in that we can search our library for more. That's why there's 4 in here. Halo Fountain, this is a really good card for this deck, obviously. For 1 white and tap it, we can untap a tapped creature we control and create another citizen. So if we're attacking with something big, we can untap it for a good blocker and create a token. Knockout Blow, 2 less if it targets a red creature, 4 damage, and we gain 2 life. Patch Up, we can bring very cheap creatures back to the battlefield. Rumor Gatherer, we're going to be able to scry every time a creature enters the battlefield, and if it's the second time, we draw a card. Professional Facebreaker, this is a good card. Menace, 2/3. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, we create a treasure token, and then we can sacrifice a treasure and exile the top card of our library. Play that card this turn. Great optional mechanic card. We can do multiple things with that. Witty Roastmaster. When we're bringing creatures in, it does 1 damage to each opponent. High Rise Sawjack, 2/3 with reach, and if it blocks a creature with flying, it gets +2/+0. Ceremonial Groundbreaker. We can equip a citizen for only 1, +2/+1, and has trample. Cabaretti Ascendancy. Beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker, maybe reveal it and put it into our hand. So we've got a little bit of a draw option there. Cabaretti Charm. Multiple options here. Of course, it's a little expensive when it comes to mana, though. Incandescent Aria. We're going to have a lot of tokens in this deck out on the battlefield, and if our opponent doesn't, this can be bad for them. Rocco Cabaretti Caterer. We can bring something back, or search our library, actually, for a creature card with mana value X or less, and put it into the battlefield when we bring Rocco out. All right, on to the 4 mana cards. Depopulate. We're going to have hopefully some multicolors out, so if we need to do a battlefield reset. Horde Hauler. Whenever Horde Hauler deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token for each artifact they control. So there's those artifact decks like Patchwork Automaton and those that just are filled with artifacts that get really unwieldy and overwhelming quickly. This is a great card for them. It's a 5/5 on top of everything else. Sizzling Soloist. We can force... target creature an opponent controls can't block if it's the second time that creature attacks during its controller's next combat phase if able. So you get a little control there. Not a huge fan of this card. I've never been one to force the creature to attack. Sometimes that backfires. Anyway, Stimulus Package. We create 2 treasure tokens. We can sacrifice treasures, create 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. This works well with the Horde Hauler and a couple other cards in here with the treasure. Darling of the Masses, Elf Citizen, and we give other citizens +1/+0. And we create a 1/1 green white citizen creature token when she attacks. Rousing the Rabble. This is that cornerstone card for a citizen deck like this. We're going to make a buttload of citizens if we have this card out. And this card exiled under Rousing the Rabble would be pretty devastating. At least it was when I first played somebody with a deck like this, because they slaughtered me. Speakeasy Server. 1 life for each other creature we control, and its flyer. Take to the Streets. This is a good card. +3/+3 to citizens and vigilance. So that's awesome. Rakish Revelers. If we're having trouble with mana, specific colors, we can exile it, or we can just pull it out and get another citizen. And then we've got Angelic Observer. Spell costs 1 less to cast for each citizen you control. That should be pretty cheap after a while. And then Cleanup Crew. Lots of options. Destroy artifacts, enchantments, exile target card from a graveyard, or gain 5 life, and it's a human citizen 6/6. So here's the lands. We've got some multicolors in there, of course. Jetmir's Garden, and then Cabaretti Courtyard for those. This is a pretty good deck. It's not super fast like a lot of my decks, but it's fun to play. It's in keeping, I think, with the New Capenna concepts of the families. And, I mean, it can work very well. I have another deck called Rousing the Rabble that has this card in it 4 times, and it is by far a quicker deck than this. It has some of the same cards as this one does, but this is kind of a more longer play, mid to late game win type of a deck. So I hope you like it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please smash that subscribe button and that notification button, and like the video, please. And if you have any suggestions or comments, I'd love to hear them. This is, oh, and there's a gameplay video for this one as well that you can check out. Please come back next time. We'll have some more for you, another new deck. And this is the Gamesman saying, see you next time.